Greetings to all. I hope you all are well. Students, today we are going to continue our chapter number 1, that is Rise of Nationalism in Europe, of class 10th. Today we are going to start topic number 4, that is the making of Germany and Britain. Students, in the fourth topic of the chapter, we are basically going to study about how the country Germany, Italy and the Britain were formed. Because earlier they were not the country, they were divided into various fragments, into a small states, into a many small groups. How they get unified and became a country. So firstly, student, we are going to study about the unification of Germany. Unification of Germany means how Germany got unified and became one country, a present day Germany. Okay, a present day German state. So students, go to back to the chapter. You have seen that how the Napoleon Bonaparte, he combined the more than earlier Germany was divided into a countless principality, and how Napoleon unified them into a 39 states when he became the Emperor of Germany. Okay, so the first step in the unification of Germany was taken up by Napoleon. What he did, Napoleon unified the countless small principality which were more than 100 into a 39 states. And that's why Napoleon is also known as the father of Germany. Okay, he is also known as the father of Germany, modern Germany, or you can say the father of modern Germany. The second contribution was that of the Congress of Vienna. Congress of Vienna. What Congress of Vienna did? Firstly, when it took place, same when the Napoleon was defeated in 1815 in Battle of Waterloo, and after that the Congress took place in which the treaty was signed, which was known as Treaty of Vienna, and it left these 39 states to be untouched. It did not, you all know, after the defeat of Germany, what they did in Vienna, they goes back to the previous political condition. All the previous monarchies were restored in various parts of the Europe, but they left these 39 states untouched. So they remain the same as were established by the Napoleon. So first two contribution goes to these two. Now we move further. What were the other steps taking place in the unification, in the making of the modern Germany state? Beta, you all know that there were in Europe, there were two main forces. One were the liberal group, and these liberal group took up the form of the revolutionary. They started doing various revolution for the overthrown of the monarchy, and these monarchical group, they were known as the conservative group. So all these things, these ideology, you all are familiar with. You had seen that during the revolution time period, revolution of 1830s and 1848, various steps were taken. The efforts were done by the liberal group. Liberal group took up the initiation, they took up the step for the unification of Germany. How? They had drafted the constitution at Frankfurt, which is also known as, in 1848, Frankfurt Parliament. Frankfurt Parliament took place, in which liberal forces drafted a constitution for the Germany, and they asked the monarch of the Germany, the king of the Germany, to sign the constitution. But you all know that the king of Prussia denied of signing it, and he also, with the help of other monarch, with the help of conservative group plus the landowners, the big landowners of the place of Prussia, with the help of these, it the ruler of Prussia suppressed these liberal forces. उसने constitution sign करने से मना कर दिया था, and what he did, he tried to suppress these liberal group, and they were successful, and these liberal group, they failed in the revolution of 1848. So the effort were also done in 1848 during the time of revolution by the liberal group at Frankfurt Parliament through drafting the constitution, but their efforts were failed. And one more important thing, beta, the landlords of Prussia, they were known by the name of Junkers. What they were known as? Junkers. So this kind of the question can be asked for a 1 mark, who were Junkers. So they were the big landowners of Prussia. Okay. So now come to the fourth step. What happened? But after suppressing the revolution of 1848, the Frankfurt Parliament, the king of Prussia, he understood that now they can't be able for a long time to suppress these liberal group. So now they themselves took up the initiation of the unification of the nation. And for that, among these 39 states, I had told you that which was the strongest one? Yeah, the Prussia hold the strongest position because of its strong economy and strong army. Economy से बेटा याद आता है, before this the efforts were also done for the economic freedom in the form of establishment of Zollverein. You all remember na? Zollverein. Zollverein क्या था? It was the custom union established in 1834 by the initiation of Prussia. तो ये Zollverein से क्या हुआ? Through the Zollverein, they tried to give the economic freedom to the people of Prussia. So again, after the Zollverein, again the initiation were took up by the monarch of Prussia, because the Prussia was the strongest state among these 39. The initiation, that's why, took up by it for the unification of the country, that of Germany. And the monarch gave the responsibility to his chief minister named Otto von Bismarck. Very important. Role of Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck, also known as the chief architect of the German unification. क्या कहलाता है? Chief architect, because he played a very important role in the unification of Germany. And how he unified the Germany? तो बेटा ये बहुत सारे competitive exam में question आता है कि what was the policy of the Bismarck? So the policy of Bismarck was known as the blood and iron policy. Blood and iron policy. So what Bismarck did? Bismarck, with the help of his army, unified the Germany. Why his policy known as the blood and iron policy? Because through war, with the help of army, Bismarck unified the Germany. तो बेटा आप इसका heading जब देखोगे 4.1 heading which is given in your book, in that it is written that can the army be the architect of nation? क्या army की help से nation का formation हो सकता है? So this heading is that's why given. Yes, here in the case of Germany, the army played a role of as the architect of the Germany, as the maker of the nation, because the head of the army was the Otto von Bismarck, who was the chief minister there. So now we study about the role of Bismarck. What Bismarck did? Fourth, role of Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck fought a 3 war with 3 nations. He fought 3 wars with 3 nations. Number 1, first war with Denmark, second with Austria, and third with France. Between the year 1864 to 18 1870. He fought 3 wars. Why he fought the war with these 3 states? Because these 3 states work as a hindrance इन द यूनिफिकेशन ऑफ जर्मनी. ये तीनों जो है जर्मनी को यूनिफाई नहीं होने देना चाहते थे बिकॉज ऑफ देयर पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट. सो Otto von Bismarck fought 3 wars between these years, 6 years, with these 3 nations, and in all the 3 wars, Prussia, by the diplomatic tactics of Otto von Bismarck, Prussia came as the victorious one. Prussia won. And finally, in the year 1871, the unification process of Prussia was completed, and Frederick William first was crowned as the monarch of Germany. Means the Germany became a nation under the monarchy. So Frederick William first became the monarch of the Germany, and this coronation or the unification celebration took place at the palace of Frederick William first at Versailles. कहाँ पर हुआ ये? Palace of Versailles. Do you remember the place Versailles? Yes, in class 9th you have studied related to the Versailles. Treaty of Versailles. फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद जो ट्रीटी साइन हुई थी दैट वाज द ट्रीटी ऑफ वर्साइलेस विच वाज सो मच ह्यूमिलेटिंग फॉर जर्मनी. जब आपने हिटलर को पढ़ा था तो हिटलर ने इसी में फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर में ही वर्क एज अ स्पाई एट द बॉर्डर ऑफ जर्मनी, लेकिन जर्मनी हार जाता है. देन द ट्रीटी वाज साइन which was known as the Treaty of Versailles, which was so much humiliating for Germany. Yeah, this was the same place. Versailles is the city at Germany. तो वहीं पर उसका किंग का पैलेस था. There the coronation took place. So in this way the unification process of Germany completed. So here now I am telling you the summary. The first thing, in the unification of Germany, the first role was played by the Napoleon. That's why Napoleon was known as the father of the modern Germany. What Napoleon did, he unified the countless principality into a 39 states which were left untouched by the Congress of Vienna. And after that, Zollverein was established by the liberal group which gave the economic freedom. What was Zollverein? Custom Union, which was established in 1834 on the initiation of Prussia. After that, the revolution took place in 1848 by the liberal group which were suppressed. In that revolution, the liberal group drafted the constitution for Germany, and that was known as the at Frankfurt Parliament, but King denied to sign the constitution and it suppressed the those liberal group. And then finally the Prussia himself took up the initiation of the unification, and this responsibility was given to the chief minister of Prussia, that was the Otto von Bismarck, who is known as the architect of modern Germany, and he unified the Germany through his blood and iron policy. And in the unification process, he fought 3 wars with the 3 nations. Those are the Denmark, Austria, and France. And in all these 3 wars, between the year 1864 to 1870, and in all these 3 wars, Prussia came as the victorious one. And finally, the Germany get unified under the Prussian king, that was the Frederick William I. So in this way, it get completed. One more thing, students, see the last para in your book. After the unification process, what the king of Prussia give the emphasis to the banking sector. किसको strong करने की कोशिश की? The currency, banking, legal system, and the 4th one is the judicial system of Germany. अगर ये सब strong हो जाएगा, then Germany emerge as one of the strongest nation. And because of all these things only, Germany act as a model for other nations to get unified. Okay, so here we completed our unification of Germany. Thank you.